So now let's get into my story. It all started 5 years ago when I was living in Ireland. I was 9 at that time. So all I remember were happy memories and where I would have play dates with my friends, go to school, and no homework. We would just color all day in coloring books. And always spending time with my sister, and we'd both like watch TV together, play with teddy bears, and just time went by so fast, and we just loved spending time with each other. And I remember having this one best friend who I would always make potions with. We'd do play dates and just as much time as possible, just spend with each other, laugh. And like we used to go outside in our neighborhood and make little things, like little food things out of the plants and trees around. It was so much fun. We had bunnies as well. We used to play with bunnies. And it was so fun to just live there, enjoy going to play dates, going to playgrounds, and be with my family as well. And then when my dad announced that he had an opportunity, a job opportunity in the US, that's really good for him. Me and my sister, as soon as we heard the US, we were jumping up and down because it's like on every television show we see US, and it was so exciting. It's like the dream place. So we were super excited that we could move there and that could be a really fun thing to do. And then as soon as we were like showing excitement and everything, my mom said that we are planning on going in October to just check out the place and see if my dad likes his office and me and my sister like the schools there and how the place is. So then we hopped on the flight and we went there for a quick two-week trip. And it was so cool to just be able to see the place, the same weather, but everything else was so nice. Seattle, we used to, me, my mom, and my sister would all go to the Redmond Town Center every day, check out the place, going to the game shops, going to the playground, and going to the French bakery and having treats there every day. And over the same time, my dad would go to his office, check the place out, and just see the new team members and everything like that. And when it came to the weekends, we would go to the houses, check out the big houses there. And every house we went into, the first thing my sister and I did was we'd run up to the bedrooms and bags of whose was whose. And that was so much fun to check out the big houses. Like, they were ginormous compared to the ones we had in Ireland. And then like schools as well, like they were 2 times the amount. They're so big, and it was so amazing to see that could be our future. Big houses, big schools, and everything looking like a literal movie out there. So then with the decision, my parents decided that we're going to be moving to the US. And it was exciting to hear that because we were just super excited that we could move there and that we could live there. And on the flight back, like my parents started to think of everything in their brains of all the things we need to do, packing, and we decided to move in January, so they kind of didn't have that much time. So it was a tight packing, getting our bunnies away. That was a sad thing to do at that point because I had a lot of attachment with them. At the beginning, I was scared of bunnies, but then I loved them a lot. And I was like enjoying that, but having to give it away kind of made me feel sad. But being 9 at that time, I was always happy and excited, and everything was going great, and I was always smiling and being social and everything. So when I had this emotion that was new, like sadness and giving something away, I didn't understand it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to push this, whatever emotion this is. I don't need it right now. I need to be happy. So I pushed it to the side into the back of my head. And then same thing when I was leaving my friends, like my best friend. We had to go to their house, have a goodbye dinner. And that was really hard for me because she was everything that I knew. We always had so much fun, and having to say bye, not knowing when I'd ever see her again, that hit me again. But then again, I was like, hey, this is an emotion that I have never had before. It's probably wrong. I don't see anyone having emotions. I see everyone being happy. So I'm going to push this again to the back of my head. And so then I started to fake smile and started to act all fake happy, and just continued like that. And then when we came onto the flight that we were like actually moving to the US, that flight, it was also a bit like leaving everything behind. But any little emotion like that that came up, shoved it back into my head again. And then when we got to this new place, as soon as we landed, it was like chaos. Like my dad had to go to his job, my mom going to the job as well. Me and my sister, I was going to elementary 4th grade at that time, and my sister was going to 6th grade, middle school, starting that. It was so much chaos. And it affected me a lot because, like, especially in school where I was coming into this new classroom, I knew none of the students there. I was just sitting there in the corner, just being quiet. And inside, I loved talking. I would love to like go to a random person, talk to them, and enjoy. But when I saw all those other classmates talking to each other, having friends, I felt left out and unwanted. And even like no one came up to me and talked to me or introduced anything like that. So it made me really like feel bad inside, isolated, unwanted, like I don't belong. But then in the back of my head, I was like, yay, it's time to go home. I can be with my sister now. Like, we used to have time together. She's like always the one I can count on to just spend time with me. So when I came back home and I saw my sister locking herself in her bedroom, doing the homework, catching up with all the things she had to do in middle school, it really hurt me. Like, inside, I felt so lonely and not having anyone to talk to, literally to talk to even. Everyone's so busy, not being able to be with my sister. It really hurt my mind. And then having so much time, me not having homework at that age, I was like having more time to go through those worrying thoughts, negative thoughts. And I started to hurt myself even more, saying, I'm the problem. Why am I going through these thoughts? This is not normal. This is not okay. Everyone's happy outside. I don't want to make them sad. I'm just going to keep it to myself. And I tried to go on like that. But one day, I just couldn't handle all of this bubbling emotions inside that I burst out crying. And my parents and my sister were there, and I just kept crying and sharing all my emotions, all the things that I kept in me for so long. And at that moment, I felt good to release the emotions. And not only that, but my parents and my sister were saying, I'm not alone in this, and they're also going through emotions, and it's okay to go through them because it's a big change we're going through. And as soon as I heard that, I felt less alone. I felt less isolated. I felt like, no, I'm not the problem. It's okay to have these emotions. And then they started to open up about how it affected them. And hearing that, I felt like, hey, as a family, this is a big change. And especially hearing my sister say she misses spending time with me as well, it made me feel a bit more in the family, like I belong in this world, and like my challenges that I'm going through in my head is not just me, and I can see that everyone's going through them. So that realization helped me so much. But also, I still had those thoughts of like who I would sit beside the next day at school. Like those thoughts were still in my head because I had to wake up tomorrow and go to school like this. So then my mom suggested doing a 5-minute mindfulness together. And back in Ireland, in my elementary school there, she was a mindfulness teacher at the club there. So I remember doing this fun 5-minute mindfulness after an exciting day at school of coloring, and then I came here and it was mindfulness. I felt so much calmer. But then here I had a challenge. Like, I needed to feel calm more than anything in the world. I needed to not worry so much and have an easier time breathing and all these things I really wanted. And knowing that that helped last time, just to be happy and normally more calm, I decided that I would do it with an intention of hopefully it helps me more. So then she guided all four of us through a 5-minute mindfulness. We closed our eyes, imagined clouds, rainbows, like ourselves being happy, and even like all the things we love and the colors and everything. And it was so beautiful. Like, I loved being able to not worry about any other things in my head, focus on breathing, visualize these things. And after that 5 minutes, I was like, it's up already? Like, I want to be there for longer. So once I understood that I had a skill, a strategy that will help me whenever I feel low like that, whenever I feel negative like that, I was like really happy about that. And then I started to think, like, if every human in the world goes through these mental health challenges and emotions, and there is a way to help, shouldn't there be more than just one way to help? So then I went on a journey of finding and studying out different coping strategies out there. And I did this by either Googling them, watching YouTube videos, asking people, and figuring them out myself as well. So understanding that all of those things can help, I started to use them in different situations. Like, if I had a test at school, I would use one of them. Or if I was nervous to go talk to a new person in my classroom, I would use one of those strategies. And like that, like belly breathing, square breathing, brain breaks, complimenting, all of these came to me, and I felt so much better. I felt like I could control my own emotions and my own mental health, and that feeling was just some feeling that I wish I had a lot sooner in that journey and all those challenges. So being equipped with all that, another big change came in, and that was COVID. All of us, it affected all of us. And for me, with online learning, that was the biggest effect it had on me. Like I said, I'm a social person, so I like talking to people. But then when I was having to be online and everyone in a Zoom box, and we would just try to listen to all the new technology that we have to learn and listen to the teacher, and I could literally see all of my students, friends, and peers being sad but faking a smile. And I knew I remembered that from somewhere. That's exactly what I felt before I had these strategies, before I opened up. I felt isolated, and I could see them feeling isolated. So then I decided to share my strategies, share these skills that I have that help me to help them. So I started an empowerment club at my middle school at that age, sixth grade. So starting this club, it was an open space where youth could come together, the students any age could come together in the school through Zoom and just share their challenges, may it be a daily challenge, a mental health challenge, or a long-term challenge. And everyone would listen to that, and they would give their hey, I'm going through challenges like that. They would just show empathy in the ways that work for them. And I loved seeing that come together because it reminded me of having my family there when I was sharing my emotions and my challenges, and seeing every person getting that love, getting that support really made me happy and made me accomplished. Not only that, but did they also share their strategies that they use in certain situations like that as well. Like if someone was saying I'm really nervous for this thing I have tomorrow, it's a test, and I wasn't able to study, and I think I studied enough, and all these emotions they were sharing, others would say, hey, when I go through something like that, I tried this strategy and it helps. Maybe we can all do it together now and you can try it out tomorrow. And everyone collected strategies like that, and understanding they're not alone in their challenges, breaking the stigma, and having a community in your mental health. A lot of them started to say and email me as well, thank you for creating this space. I was able to feel like I belong somewhere, like I'm not alone, like it's okay to have mental health challenges. And I was so happy reading those emails and hearing people say that, because that is emotion, that is the feeling I wanted them to have for so long, and had more people have it in the world as well. So knowing I could help a certain amount of people, I really wanted to spread this worldwide, spread this feeling of, hey, I am in charge of my mental health and I have these strategies, I know I'm not alone, to more people. So that's when writing a book came to mind. So I knew it was something that was possible because my mom did it, she wrote a book, and also because since I was really young, I used to write all the fiction books, no grammar, a lot of errors and everything, but it was just so fun to write my thoughts and visualize things in words. So always loved writing, and having a mission in my head, and being able to think, hey, I want to write a book to share this with more people, that's what really got me going. So I started writing the book, had my story, had the challenges I went through, and also in those challenges, how I got the help and through these strategies and how they benefited me and how you can use them yourself as well. Throughout that journey, at one point I actually had to scratch 25K words, and that was a big challenge because all of the things I've written so far, it was really annoying because I had to scratch all of that, start completely over again. And the one thing that really kept me going in that hard struggle was that I wanted to help people. I wanted to share the messages that I wish I had sooner in my mental health journey. So that kept me going. I started all over again with the idea that this will really help the readers if I do it the best way possible. So as I kept writing and writing, after 1.5 years of hard work and dedication, I finally got my book published. Thank you. Thank you so much. So after writing that book, I was I know inside there's a drive and a passion to help others out there, so how can I do this through other ways? So then I started my mental health campaign, where I did a lot of things, including coming to different organizations, being a part of them, and having a voice in them. I started mental health resource fairs at my district, my high school, and my middle school as well, and having an opportunity where students can walk in, find different local organizations that can help and strategies, and knowing they're not alone, breaking the stigma, also even reaching out to the president and the White House to be able to advocate for mental health education programs in schools, and doing so many more things where I'm really able to share my story, share my voice, and even share the strategies through media opportunities as well. I'm in Fox and CBS, sharing every month and monthly a couple of times actually, sharing strategies, sharing the message you're not alone to help other people get that message that I wish I had sooner. So all of those are different advocacy works I do. And how I like to think of it is I had a challenge. I was able to help myself through that challenge with strategies. Then I found my community not having the struggle that I had before the strategies. So I went to implement it into my community. And now I bring it into a more international perspective where I'm able to help even more people with that. So I'm really grateful that I'm able to help more people and help in their mental health journey. Thank you. So my name is Taanvi Arekapudi. As you know, this is a couple organization I'm part of now. I'm actually 14 years old now. And a couple other organizations I'm in, like National Alliance on Mental Illness, I'm a youth ambassador there, Work to Be Well, I'm on their National Student Advisory Council board, and all of these organizations I'm part of, with the same passion, same drive of advocating for mental health, breaking the stigma, letting people know they're not alone, and also letting people know it's okay to not always feel happy all the time. Because those are some messages that if I had learned sooner, it would have helped me to feel in charge of my mental health a lot sooner. So now I'd like to share a bit about, in these organizations, how the things that I like that people do to make youth feel valued. And as a youth myself, I think this will give a great perspective as well. So the first one is for youth involvement opportunities. So youth really like to get involved, especially me, like knowing that my peers at school and everyone like that, they want to get involved in opportunities where they have a passion, they have a drive, and having like organizations having opportunities for youth where they can really share their stories and they can have a voice in panels and they can also do presentations, it'll really drive youth to making sure that they know their voice is feeling valued. And then youth leadership opportunities. A lot of youth, even in high school, they're looking for opportunities where they can share their voice and especially have that on their resume, have that on their like college applications where they can really show that, but also have the experience. And another great way is like youth ambassador programs, having that in your organization. And then feedback forums, making them unique. Because personally for me, I don't like doing feedback forms because after a long day of like school, listening to teachers, filling out forms, doing worksheets, I don't want to do more of that. So a unique way that I love to do is like if an organization comes out and brings a bunch of teens to the cafe and they have like a paper there that you can write down your feedback, some things that you'd like to implement, or even data, if they're collecting data, you write down some of your emotions you're going through, anything like that, where it's a more fun way to do it than just typing things online. And it's been proven to also help a lot, and a lot of organizations are starting this already, and you can even do Zoom meetings if you like that, or just meeting up in places where you can share your voice in a more unique way and you know it's going to be heard. And then meet youth where they're at. We all know youth like social media, so if you want to promote anything, making sure that you're going out to social media platforms and like if Instagram or Facebook and sharing the like opportunities you have there, resources you have there, and also in schools because schools have a bunch of students there. So if you're looking for youth voice and if you're looking for giving opportunities and resources, it's a great way to do that as well. And then the last one is youth from the beginning. And I know a lot of organizations, some here as well, are really driving to help youth and making projects and things for youth to be benefited from. So being able to have have youth be involved from the decision-making process, maybe at the beginning, like you have little decisions and big decisions, anything leading up to that project, having youth voice included will definitely make the outcome more helpful for the youth as well. So those are just some of the tips that I personally like to see in organizations, and hopefully you'll get inspired to try a couple, or maybe you're already trying a couple. So here are, like I said earlier, a couple of the media channels I'm on, CBS, Fox, King 5, and international ones as well, where I just share my tips, my story, and the messages that I want people to hear, and that will help them in their journey. And that's the QR code that'll take you there to all the videos. And then, like I said earlier, I have my book, Uplift Teens Today, Coping Strategies for Mental Health. And as part of my mental health campaign, I've also created these emotion cards deck. And like I said earlier, having emotions, like in schools often we're taught it's just happy and sad. But when I felt more than happy and sad, I thought it was me, I felt isolated, felt really negative on myself. But these emotion cards are a great resource and project that I've created that all of us, including me, because sometimes I need this as well, to understand there's more emotions and it's not just happy, sad, that it's more in depth, acknowledging that, and also making sure that you're not in that negative space for too long and helping you with the strategy to come out of that. So on my book, like I said, shares my story, my challenges, and the ways that I help myself through that, and how as a reader, maybe youth, a kid, a teen, or adult, reading that and understanding that, hey, maybe it works for them, so I'll try it myself. So those are the two resources I've created for all of us to use in our mental health journey. So now I'm proposing as an ask a way that you all can support me. If all of you can take out your phones now and scan this QR code, it'll take you to my Instagram page and follow me. That would be a great support, because then I'll be able to share this message, help other people in their mental health journey, and spread it more internationally as well. So that would be great help. Thank you. And like I mentioned earlier, my website is www.taanvi.us. And if you go to the website, you'll find how you can purchase my book and emotion cards, and also more about how they work. Thank you.